Today we're going to talk about abstract data type, collection, list, and iterable interface. Abstract data type are a set of objects and their operations. They're mathematically abstract, which means that there are no specifications about the objects that we're going to have or any specifications about the operations that those objects will have. That will give you a lot of options to work with these objects and define your own operations for them. Examples can be collection, list, sets, graphs. Public interface collection extends iterable. As you can see, a collection is an interface and it extends the interface iterable. Collection has a bunch of methods, which the most important ones are the following that I have listed here. There are a lot more to this list, but these are the most important ones. Add, remove, is empty, clear, equals, size, toArray, remove all, iterator. They're pretty self-explanatory, but I will explain two of the methods that I have put here that are not that obvious. The method toArray is going to go over all of the elements that you have in the collection and put them in an array of objects and return it. Remove all, which gets in a collection as a parameter, is gonna compare the elements that you have in the collection with the collection that you pass in, and if there are any matching, it's gonna get rid of those matchings, and it's gonna return a boolean that the operations was successful or not. Iterator is gonna be a method that is very unique, and I will explain it later. The most famous subinterfaces for collection are list, queue, and set, but there are a lot more to this list which I won't go over. You can check it on collection API. The most famous classes that implement collection are LinkedList, ArrayList, priority queue, hash set, stack, linked hash set, and vector. Public interface list extends collection. As you can see again, collection is being extended by list, and list itself is an interface. So list will have all of the methods that I explained before and all of the things that we have in the collection, and it has also its own methods. The most important methods for list are add, get, index of, and remove. Add is gonna take in two parameters, index and element. So you can see that you can be able to put an element into a specific index. Remove can remove an item in some specific index also. Index of is gonna go over the collection that you have, or here we can say a list that you have, and find that object and return the index of that object in the list. Get is gonna go to the index that we pass in and gets the object that we have in that index and return it. All superinterfaces of list are collection and iterable. There are no more than these two. Most famous implementing classes are ArrayList, LinkedList, stack, and vector. You can check the list API for more of these classes. So we talked about iterable interface. So what is iterable interface? A collection can implement iterable interface. If a collection has this iterable interface, it should actually have a iterator method that will return an iterator object. Iterator object will help you to make enhanced for loop, or aka for each loop. Let's take a look at a simple implementation of iterator. Public iterator is going to return new linked list iterator. New linked list iterator is a class that implements iterator. We will make a node, which we call it current, and in the constructor of this class we're gonna set the current to be the head of the linked list. If you don't know what the head of the linked list is, or you don't know what linked list is, you can check our other videos where we'll explain more about linked list. Public boolean has next. This method is gonna see if the current node that you have is null or not. If it is null, it means that there are no next. Okay? If it's not null, it means that you can move on and get the next element and so on. So if the current node is not null, it's gonna return true, means that there is a next. Public next is gonna actually get that next data. So it's gonna go to the current, take the data out of it, and return it, and also it's gonna move on to the next element in that linked list. Public void remove. Don't worry about this method. It's not completed yet here, but it's not that hard to implement it. For this specific case, we will not be worried about this remove method. So let's see an instance of enhanced for loop, or aka for each loop. You can implement for each loop as follows: public static void printed collection, you pass in a collection to our method, and also here we have a for loop that is going to go over each element of this collection and print it. When the compilers see this part of code, it's gonna interpret it for itself as the following. It's gonna call the iterator method. If you remember, iterator method is gonna return an iterator object, and that iterator object has the methods of has next and also next. So while we have a next in our iterator object, we can move on and we can print, and we will get the next until we hit the end of the linked list, and then that's when the while loop is gonna end.